Hi, I'm Taylor. I was in the class that Mr. Hess first allowed to do the extra credit video assignments, and I loved them because the other assignments were too learny for me. This one, it was kind of freedom of to do whatever I want. And Mr. Hess, I'm not even joking, this is the 12th time I've tried to make this video. Not joking, you better be appreciative because I'm warm. It's really wearing me out. Okay. So this are my 14 points. Okay, number 1, assign jobs. It's the most important thing, one of the most important things. Like, with our first video, we did that rap video, we had a girl that could sing, she did our rap. We had me who could direct, edit, use computers well, and that was me. I was that person. And then I had 3 girls, Morgan, Jenny, and Kaylee, that were willing to be in front of the camera and just be stupid and exploit themselves, I guess you could say. And so yeah, so assign jobs, make sure everybody has their own roles, nobody feels left out, and they all have equal camera time and everything. Okay, tip number 2, setting attire and props improve your video. So our setting goes, I live across from an old schoolhouse, and for our Lowell Girls and Breaker Boys video, that is where we set everything because there was like an old fireplace full of old coal and everything, and then attire, you saw, if you watched the video, you saw the ugly clothes we wore. Back to setting. For the Lowell girls, we used the racks that it used to be feeding racks. Like they used the schoolhouse for a feeding rack for cows and stuff at once. We used that as our sewing machines to an extent. And props and special effects. My favorite special effect was whenever we used, I'm going to hit my brother in about 20 seconds. Get out of the way. My favorite special effect was whenever we took a big bucket of chalk and we poured it out and it just like shoo, went up like smoke, and I loved it. And so, you didn't do it. You weren't there. Okay, so yes, that's point number 2. Setting, attire, props, special effects all improve the video. Number 3. I recommend using Windows Live Movie Maker for you starter editors because I doubt that any of you really have editing experience unless you like do a lot with YouTube and stuff. But you probably don't have that advanced of editing experience. And like for those videos, even though I did have editing experience, that's all I had was Windows Live Movie Maker. It's free. I think there was 2 computers in the library that had Windows Live Movie Maker on them, and if you go there, I'm sure Miss Faulkner will help you with that. And so yeah, I really recommend it. It's really simple, step by step, and I'm gonna do a tutorial on it if I have it up in time. Mr. Hess can give you my YouTube name, you can go look at it, and it shows you how to use it and everything. And yeah, and you've seen the effects if Mr. Hess needs to show you that video. You've seen the effects it can do. It cuts, it copies, it pastes, it changes the color, it loudens it, it quiets the sound, puts the sound in, it does all the basic things that you'll need for your videos, and it's just generally good. Okay, number 4. Don't slack. If you're gonna even bother to try, might as well go all the way and just get it done, do your best. Like any other assignment in school, the more work you put into it, the better extra credit points you're going to get. In my case, I put a lot of work into mine, and it ended up bumping my grade up. I was a B student, I don't know. It used to bump my grade up 1 whole letter grade because it gave me that much points. So, yes, I recommend actually trying because, yeah, it was just, yeah. Some videos just seemed like they didn't really try. They just kind of threw it all together in 30 minutes and said, okay, let's turn this in. And so just try. Seriously, just don't. It's just going to disappoint me and Mr. S. It's sad, okay? Just try. Alright, number 5. Don't participate if you're shy. It's the dumbest thing to do because my friends were shy, but by the end of it, they weren't, because if you're shy and you say something stupid with that you would just say with your friends, and it gets caught on tape and it gets put out there, you're kind of screwed because Mr. Hess will pick on you forever, and it's pretty funny, honestly. Kaylee, one of my girls, said pumpernickel one time, and she hasn't lived it down since then, and so yeah, she was really shy. She had to get over it if she wanted to do this video, and I told her that straight up, and now she's like my main man and stuff, and yeah. So if you're shy, you don't like to be picked on, you don't like to be picked out of a crowd, don't do this. It's just not a smart thing to do. Okay. Number 6. When you're doing songs, find your music first. We had I got lucky enough the one time that I did our first video. We wrote the rap first, but I found good music. But that was just my expertise helping me out there. But you should probably find the song or the background music before we write the song, so you can build the song around the music instead of the music around the song. I helped a group edit theirs one time, and that we had a huge issue with that because we couldn't exactly. They wrote their song first, and they asked me to put music into it, and it was the hardest thing to find music. So yes. And also with this, if it is the rap assignment, which Mr. Hess told me, I think it's supposed to be your first one, the rap thing. So yes, if you do that, record their voice first, because I didn't like ours because we had cars in the background, we were doing it. Record their voice, they don't even have to say it on the screen as long as it's playing in the background. I recommend recording their voice and putting their voice and then the music together on Avery and then putting it on your video. That way it's more professional. Number 7. Do the best with what you have and what you don't have. Living across from that house really helped me with doing the best with what I have, because I don't have all the woods and everything and some of the sources that other kids had. We didn't have the old barns or anything. We just had that schoolhouse, and my neighbor nicely allowed me to use it. And so we just used the best with what we had. We had the weird looking clothes, and we did with what we had. And I guess this sort of falls under special effects too. We didn't have like any sort of clothing really for my brothers whenever they did the Breaker Boys. So we just kind of like I put up my older brother into a blotched blue shirt, and I put it in black and white so it kind of looked dirty. And then we took black eyeshadow and like coated it on his face. So did our best there. And then said they had scabs on their hands, smacked their hands together. We just kind of used our resources. We didn't really make an effort to go out and get all the thousands of things that would have made it much better. But still, use the best of what you have. Just yeah. Number 8. Backup cameras are like the most important thing ever. I used to have the hardest time with that because I would bring my one camera, put it on the tripod, get it going, we'd be in the middle of the scene, and it would shut off and die. And I was like in the zone at that point. I had to get out of the zone, go charge it, and then get back in the zone, and that's hard to do. And it's hard to get back on track, remember where you were, remember your plans. So it was always good for us to have extra cameras. We ended up with 2 cameras the one time, and then just an extra camera for just recording whenever we felt like it. Number 9. Assign a day. A lot of people were like, they would be going over to a friend's house or something, and they conveniently say, okay, let's do this video assignment for Mr. Hess. And they would do it in like the last 20 minutes before they left or went and do something, and I don't want to be mean to them. How do I say this? I don't know. It just didn't seem very organized, I guess you could say. We took a day, and we took our day, we did our planning, we found our music, we took our time, we were able to take our time and make our video better instead of rushing through it all. Okay, so number 10 is equal camera time. I really want to stress this because I had a lot of problems with my main girl for the first video, and in our Uprising book trailer, she didn't get equal camera time, and there was a big fuss about that. And it was hard to portion it out with so many people. So definitely add that in there somewhere. don't try to shove all your friends into one thing. I felt like I had 5 girls normally, and I felt that was pushing the limit. I felt like we managed it through. I felt that we did decent with 5 people, but it was still pushing the limit, and I don't recommend going over 5. Don't try to fit all 10 of your friends or your whole lunch table into one video because it's just not going to work. Okay, number 11. Someone needs to step up and be the leader of the whole thing. Your director, which was kind of my role, should probably be like somebody behind the camera to keep everybody in line on camera. They start giggling. If you've taken more than 3 shots and you can't get it with a straight face, you're gonna have to lay something down, change something up, because obviously it's not working right. And so it's a lot of changing, rearranging, but somebody has to step up and keep everybody under control. That was me in my case, and it managed, I guess. I don't even know. Number 12. Have fun, but stay on task. That's sort of where the leader has to step in. You can definitely have fun and laugh and just be stupid with your friends, but at the same time, you have to get it done, and if you don't get it done, it's just going to slack. Our first video, we messed up at the end. We were goofing off, we were all excited about getting it done and everything, and we missed our last amendment. We had to do the first 10 amendments, and we missed our last amendment, and that's why it's really dark whenever Mr. Hess projects it, because we had to do it inside, and the lighting sucks in here. And and it's not as, amazing and stuff. So yeah, stay on task, don't forget anything, number your scenes, keep everything really organized, or else it's just going to be all willy-nilly and all over the place. Okay, tip number 13. It's good to add humor, it's good to get a laugh and everything, but don't overdo it. We would see kids who did a 2-minute video and then a 9-minute blooper session. And that's, depending on how many people you have, if you have 3 people in your group, don't make your bloopers the same length as your video. It's always fun to have bloopers, and what Mr. Hess did was he would play, like, the other groups, he would play all their videos, but then the kids that were actually in his class, he would play the bloopers for those kids. That's explainable. But, so, yeah, there's the don't do it if you're shy thing. So yeah, don't do too much bloopers. I felt like we pushed our limit on the first one, and it was still okay, but still, yeah, I was an immature editor then, so you can't really blame me. Okay, last but not least, tip number 14. Mr. Hess needs to show you our 3 videos, and if he doesn't, he'll tell you our YouTube name, Taylor Kaylee 1. You can go on there and watch our videos, learn from our mistakes, and I addressed some of our mistakes in this video. Learn from our mistakes, take in our whatever you want to call it, and watch that tutorial. I'm gonna do a lot about it on camera because I'm just good with this stuff. Camera editing and like screen write and stuff, but you can just skip through to whatever you need. And just have a great 8th grade year. Have fun because you have the best history teacher ever, and yeah, and if you have Mr. Hess, you might have Mr. Bradley and Miss Best and all of them, and I love my 8th grade year. So have a great 8th grade year and do your best and have fun and amazing time and stuff. And okay, bye.